This episode is powered by Poddex.
Raid Shadow Legends.
You don't say those things and not expect me to do those things.
We're that's not how you do it, though. That's not the mantra for Raid Shadow Legends. You got to be so much louder.
We're not sponsored by them, though.
We're not. That's why you can scream their name.
Yeah. Well, I have two kids over yonder in school and a baby over there. So
come on, that would be the most amazing thing. Is they're in school, unmuted, and then in the background you just hear this like Raid Shadow Legends.
I'm gonna have Aurelia burst in here and be like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Really?" For the podcast.
And then you launch into a speech about how awesome Raid Shadow Legends is.
Oh, God.
Like that sounds like a pretty good plan to me.
Xbox Series X. So you and I were lucky enough to be able to get one on day one of launch. We didn't have any delays like some people did. There was a little bit of a concern because FedEx was not updating properly.
I figured they were doing that to like not like even if because our consoles what happened was our consoles like were both mine was in California, his was also in California, but several miles away from him. And I think even if they did travel that day or didn't travel that day, they didn't update the FedEx to say like, hey, your Xbox is like a mile from your house, but it's not going to be delivered till tomorrow. Like, I think they intentionally said, let's not tell them that have them go, well, I'll just go and pick it up.
What irked me the most was that I live, like Quinton said, I live about half an hour to 45 minutes from the main distribution center. I said, okay, well, they will come up to me and drop it off probably sometime in the morning. And I was very excited for this. And then the night before, I saw that they had actually drove past my town and went another 45 minutes in the exact opposite direction. Like, you guys literally could have just like knocked on my door and just left it. It totally would have been fine. It would have saved you a trip. I know it really wouldn't have, but I'm selfish here. It would have saved you a trip and we would have been fine. But no, you had to go the exact opposite direction, and I still had to wait the quote unquote appropriate amount of time. But we both got it discernibly. A great time frame. It was before a very important phone call for you, Quinton. It was before a very important thing that I was doing that day. And so what are your...
And a little piece of clarification. No, it happened during my very important phone call.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
I had a manager meeting, and during the manager meeting, I'm like, okay, hold on, my door.
Hold on.
And I didn't have the green screen up, and so you could see my door in the background.
Oh, God.
And so you could see me run up to the door and like pull out this box, and I'm like... I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to focus. And I'm like, okay, now how can we wrap this up?
So I had not seen any unboxing videos on YouTube. I know that some of the YouTubers already did unboxing videos, and I tried to avoid those because I actually did an unboxing on my stream. It was very difficult. It's like not seeing any kind of... spoilers of a new Star Wars film, right? It was very, very difficult, but it can be done. What was your impression of the unboxing experience, or had you already seen the unboxing experience?
I know that's to me that normally would be a really weird question because it's unboxing something, like who cares? But honestly, like the design of like the box is amazing.
Yeah,
like,
no, they put
you open it and it's like seriously like. Like
they put a lot of effort into it. And one thing that I hadn't even thought of until just right now, that unboxing is so accessibility friendly.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, that like,
if you think
since
of the
they
unboxing,
did the whole...
if you think of the unboxing of their that adaptive controller, it's very similar. But unboxing the competitor of the PlayStation 5, it's just a box. You open it up, And I did see an unboxing of that one, and that was less than like exciting. And again, like you were saying, Quinnton, it is just the box. Who the heck cares? But it really was kind of an experience of, oh my God, this is beautiful. And for those who haven't seen it, it's like you tear off 4 stickers and then you open it up like a treasure chest. That's the best way to say it in podcast
Honestly,
form.
that's great.
And then right there it says "Power Your Dreams." I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much.
It's got like a wrap around the console, and then it's got a cardboard insert around the console again, and that says "Power Your Dreams." And the best part in my opinion is that when you pull out the console and you take off the cardboard thing, you're taking off the like wrapping around the console, it pulls off like you're undressing it. Like, honestly, that's the one thing that came to mind. Is I was like, is Barry Manilow gonna start playing?
Oh, Quinnton,
My
you
word.
came,
'Cause
man.
I didn't see. There's probably was a sticker or something that I could like,
That was great.
pop and just undo it, just
It
like
really
normal person.
was.
But
yeah,
seriously, you pull it down and it's like, what is happening?
So, unboxing experience aside, you and I were quick to set it up, quick to transfer over our games. If you have a plan to buy one of these, or you're planning to get one in the near future, can I recommend that you guys do not just re-download your games, transfer them over with an external hard drive, because A, that'll save you on data for downloading a whole new game and time. And so I learned that the hard way with Call of Duty. But yeah.
Did you have to re-download the entire thing?
Listen, this is not about me. So we're just going to move on.
Okay.
Yeah. So what were your first impressions of the console? I mean, were you like right out of the gate, you're like, blown, you blew your mind, or were you kind of, because you and I are in this position of who we work for, we've had a lot of, not necessarily insider knowledge, but we've had a lot of training, and we've had a lot of like, okay, this is exactly what's going to happen. So did that spoil it for you?
No.
Okay.
They've learned a lot, is what I would say.
In what sense?
So last time I was at a console launch was for the Xbox One back in 2013, which was very much just like when you got the console home, it was just kind of like, here's your console, turn it on, sign in, okay, go. Whereas like this one's, it was so much more. It was like, okay, use the app on your phone and like sign in and like get a link to the console, and the console's going to update and it's going to pull your settings automatically. And like when the console came on, it already had my account settings. It already had like everything already on there. And then it was just like, hey, you want to transfer some games off your hard drive to the internal? Cool. Let's get the updates done. And it like kind of just took care of everything itself.
Yeah.
And it gets to the dashboard, and it's got the beautiful new moving backgrounds, which I know aren't a new thing for console. I mean, PlayStation's had that for an absolute stupid amount of years, but it was just like an experience to like hit the dashboard so fast and like just have this like calm, like, hey, welcome to the dashboard.
And
How you doing?
And I think that's one thing that the speed was very impressive to me, because I knew, because I don't have a 4K monitor. I don't even have a 2K monitor for that matter. I don't get to see HDR like you do, Quinnton. So I knew at least visually it was going to be not subpar, but I wasn't going to get the benefit of a lot of the visual aspects of it, except maybe a little bit of better shading, like in Minecraft or something. But what mattered to me most was the speed of loading, not only the console, but like games. And oh my God, they load so much better.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I finally,
you were experiencing that with
Burnout.
You were experiencing that with Burnout Paradise.
Oh my word. That was the first one I've actually experienced the like quick resume. And it was awesome because I was playing Call of Duty with everyone, and then like I wanted to go back and do a couple races, and it was like I hit Burnout Paradise, and instead of doing the regular thing of like, okay, we're gonna load in Burnout, and it's gonna load up the title screen, and it's gonna load all the oh, look at the people who made the game. Then you're on the menu. Then you have to hit campaign. Then it loads the campaign, and then you're finally no. It's like I started the game, and then 10 seconds later, it's where I was paused when I paused to switch to Call of Duty like hours ago.
Now, let me ask you this: when you pause the switch, because I forcibly paused the game, not Burnout, but another game. I forcibly paused it because I'm just used to it. Did you pause the game, or did you just hit the Nexus to switch and it auto paused?
Paused.
Okay, all right.
I'll just hit start.
I wonder what happens if you just hit the Nexus if it auto pauses. I don't know. I'm sure it does.
Well, most games do. Like
Yeah,
campaign based games, when you pull up that, it triggers the pause menu.
And I think that's important to say. Like, it is campaign-based games that this works best with, that are taking advantage of quick resume. Like if you're playing Call of Duty or Apex, even Apex says it handles quick resume, but it doesn't because it's server-based. So it'll load the game quick, but then it'll kick you back out, and you have to hit A because you've disconnected from the server. So it is what it is. Yeah. That's just how server-based games are. But you have the ability to take advantage of some of the visual graphic upgrades versus me. Have you seen any like visual updates? Because I know there was a texture pack for Call of Duty, for example, and now Call of Duty does show up as this is an Xbox Series X and S enhanced game, which is kind of cool. Are you seeing those enhancements?
Yes, Call of Duty is an easy one. It looks and plays amazing. Like the frame rate is very locked in at 60, which is awesome. Apex, I really haven't touched. I really haven't touched a lot of games that have the SX update. Yeah, no, I really haven't touched many of them. The one I'm waiting for right now is Destiny. Destiny already looks amazing and it plays really smooth, but I think it's December 8th where it gets its actual Series X upgrade, but we're not there yet. So,
okay. All right, fair enough. Now, I definitely am looking forward to the updates coming for like the older games that I kind of play around with, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And then I actually still have Grand Theft Auto, and I know there was somebody that was testing the quick resume between Grand Theft Auto 5 and RDR2, and it was just going flip flop, and like I haven't tested that myself, but it looked to be like real stuff, and just it boggled my mind. Now, one thing though, because of how our setup is, and this isn't for everybody, this doesn't affect everybody, but the way that our setup works is that we are special, and we would normally get our audio from the Xbox via a digital optical cable to a mixer, or in your case, a mix amp, and then that goes to the headphones, and then for the party chat, we're connected to the computer via XLR or USB, and we can use party chat on the computer and listen to music simultaneously, this, that, and the other. This has no digital optical cable port, and we knew this, but I don't know if you were like, okay, well, I'll deal with it when I get it, but you and I did not talk about this whatsoever. So when I opened it up...
I think it just fell off our radar.
Yeah, I opened it up. I'm like, all right, I got all the ports. Wait, no, I don't. Oh, yes. Phil Spencer even said like they had to make some sacrifices, and not that many people were using it. You know, in the grand scheme of things, not that many people were using the digital optical cable. So we're just gonna get rid of it. There are some adapters that you can buy. Astro, actually, subsidiary of Logitech, they have their own HDMI adapter that splits it off into HDMI as well as digital optical. For only $40. It is sold out right now, and it says it only works for PlayStation 5, but that's not true. It works for virtually anything.
Yeah, I don't know how it would work only for PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I know. It's like Sony proprietary only. We will know by the ones and zeros or something like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know how that would work, but I'm going to do my research on that, make sure it doesn't cause any sort of audio degradation or anything like that, but I mean, I want my optical port back.
From what I've seen, people are fairly happy with that adapter, and I haven't done enough research on some of the third-party adapter. Well, I say third-party. What I mean to say is those cheaper adapters from, well, China. Those adapters that you'll find when you just type it into Amazon, and they're like, this is only $15. Like, oh my God, how could it be so inexpensive? Well, you'll hear it. or like the audio will be great, but because you still have to pass through HDMI, you'll lose something. So, sometimes you do get what you pay for. So that was my concern with yours, Quinnton, was, because you do have the ability to view games in HDR, passing it through another adapter. Does the adapter allow for HDR or not? And I know you don't know the answer to that, but that's something that we're going to have to kind of wait and see.
No, the other thing that I'm considering is eventually I want to get, and this is grand scheme of things eventually, not like, in the next year, I want to get a monitor that supports 120 refresh rate, and the Elgato that I have supports 60. And so it's kind of like, does that mean I have to get a monitor and a new Elgato? Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah. It pretty much does. I was already looking at monitors because I was in a bad place where I was like, all right, I just spent $500, might as well spend another $700 for a new monitor. Oh, these monitors that support 4K at 120 frames are not just $700.
If you want the big three, you're spending close to like $1,500 to get like 4K HDR and 120
at least. Yeah, no, it's
bad.
It's bad. Right now it's bad. In a year from now, it'll be better. It'll be much more palatable, much better wallet stress and easier to swallow, so to speak. And because of hours, I don't know about you, Quinnton. I don't like having too many monitors. And I know this is such a first world problem, but it is what it is. I don't like having too many monitors that are like, they're all different like brands or whatever. So my bottom two monitors are exactly the same, and my top monitor is like the kind of the throwaway monitor. And Madsters wants to upgrade your PC, and she gets the hand-me-down PC. So
I'm down for that. Or you get the new PC or something. I don't know. Let's just add another PC.
There we go. We'll just add another stream PC, just like that. It's easy.
Well, here's
fine.
the answer: is there's been rumors, and this is where we'll leave it. But there's been rumors of another stimulus check. We'll get another stimulus check and build a computer with that. Yeah, right. That seems like a very reasonable and responsible thing. There we go. To do with the stimulus check.
I have
not groceries, computer.
I have some other things I need to pay for. Kids. They
they're fine.
They'll be
like, Dad, I'm hungry, and you'll be like, yeah, but look at this beast of a PC. This has a 3090.
I got a 3090.
And they'll be like, I'm no longer hungry.
No one else in Vacaville has a 30. I've got the 3090. People have to line up to look at it. No, but as I was saying, like in regards to cost and everything, if you don't want, if you can wait. The cost of all these other kind of accessories, because that's essentially what the monitor is at this point, to the Xbox as an accessory, as an add-on, they will all be cheaper next year. I was considering getting a monitor that still does like 2K, 1440p with 120 frames, FPS. So I don't know.
Hertz.
Yeah, I'll see. The Hertzies. She has COVID, so she can make this call. She's like, I'm the one who needs it. I'm sticking at home, so I need the computer.
I have COVID, so therefore send me a full computer. And I'm not saying like a cheap computer. I want like high end. Yeah, not even like mid-grade or mid-high. No, high end. We're talking like close to $3,000 minimum.
It's good to know that Masters has a minimum bar for the PC. You've definitely found a good lady.
Yes. We'll get her one of the Elgato that runs off of PCIe.
Well, I mean, it's funny you should say that, because you were saying, do I have to get a new capture card? Yeah, I would recommend the AverMedia 4K capture card. because it also has like multiple like HDMI inputs. It is also like
that's cool.
well, yeah, but it is also $400 or $500. But you get again, it's one of those things. You get what you pay for. You were getting all the things that you would ever need, and then some. So like if you're gonna continue with your streaming, you could do some Halo Infinite when it comes out. You do Halo Infinite. Streaming, and they're like, all right, we're gonna move over to Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you just pop on the PlayStation, and you don't have to swap any cables. That's the AverMedia 4K capture card. And
no, I want
pay
a
to play.
hard left turn at the traffic lights. I want to switch from like, okay, we're playing Halo, and then we switch around, and now we're going to do digital life management, and we're going to switch over to my Surface, and we're going to start organizing things digitally. For the next 4 hours.
For those listening to the audio, you can't see me, but I am just shaking my head. No, don't stream that. Please don't. What do you hate people doing, but you do it yourself?
Something I have tried in recent years to not do, and I think I've grown very good about not doing it, is when you go somewhere and you do something, or you're at the store or whatever, people make jokes, right? Like to the cashier or to the attendant or to whatever. And I've heard this said. I don't remember who said it, but it was something along the lines of, whatever joke comes to mind first is the joke that everyone makes. And so you shouldn't make that joke. And so that's always been something I try to remember, of like, if a joke instantly hits me, don't say it. Don't say it. Because I hate those jokes. I hate it didn't scan, it's free. Shut up. And so in recent years, I've tried to like, if a joke instantly hits my head, I'm like, okay, and I'll even ask him at this point. I ask people, I'm like, is this the joke that everybody makes?
Yes, I know you asked this because when we went to Antelope Island, you asked the toll girl, does anyone ask you, I forget what you said, but it was such a cringy question that your wife and I were both like, really? Can you just pay the girl and we can go? You're like, no, I must know the answer to this to find out if other humans have had the same thoughts that I have had. Like, no, just go. She doesn't want to chat.
Wasn't it that was the time that she's like, no, actually, no one said that?
I don't. I think it was the opposite. I think she said, no, yeah, people have asked me that. So
either way,
I think that practice is very unique, and I think more people should do that, honestly, because it is, especially when somebody has a specific name. And like it's a name that rhymes, or it's a common name, like Adolf. That's a terrible example. But just
try again.
Or well, like my name, for example, Tony. I'll sometimes, when I'm even just not even in a butcher shop or anything, or at a sandwich place, if I have to give a name and the person on the other end is like, oh, Tony Baloney. I'm like, okay, look, I've heard that ever since I can remember. That's not funny. That's just not funny at all. It's not cute anymore. It's lost its luster. Shut up.
No.
Yeah.
I think I've told the story about the coworker that had long fingers, like he had good like long fingers, so he could like do rock climbing and stuff. And I was like, you know what they say about long fingers, right? And he's like, yeah, I've heard it. And I'm like, I'm gonna go like just quit my job.
I think one of the things that I can't stand from people, but I feel like sometimes I'll do it when they try to do everything. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, they're asked to do one task, but they're aware of other tasks that need to get done, and they just go ahead and do them. And I appreciate the go-getter attitude, but they're done wrong. And so I have to go in there and, the other adage is if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. And that's the issue that I have with some people. And if I'm being perfectly honest, it's with my kids. It's when they go and I tell them, go clean your room or go do this one chore. And when they want to get into my good graces, they'll go and do other things. And it's like, wait, I didn't tell you to do this. Thank you, but you did it wrong. And now I have to go fix your mess, or I have to go clean up the cleanup because you used the wrong solution, or you or like you did the laundry incorrectly. So I've got white sheets that are now pink. Thanks. Things like that. Like, I appreciate it, but what I would prefer is you to ask. If you ask and you say, hey, can I do anything else like the laundry? Okay. Do you know how to do the laundry? And then we would have a discussion about that. But it's just one of those things. And I know I sound so nitpicky here, but it is one of those things.
Well, you sound like a dad with younger children.
But it also has to do with like coworkers too. Like I'll have a coworker, I'll say, hey, I need you to go do this in the store. I need you to go wipe down the surface, or I need you to go make sure that these things are put on display. And then they go way over the top and they start putting all the things on display and it looks like trash. It's like, how did this ever look good to you? At what point did you say, yes, I have completed everything and more, and he will be very happy with my work? No, this looks like garbage. It looks like we're doing a yard sale and we're just trying to sell everything before the rain comes. It's terrible. So then I got to go in and start taking things away, and then somebody else says, why are you taking them away? It's like, can you see why did you see how terrible it looks? Are you so that's
again, it still sounds like it's all stemming from you having younger children. Like, as much as you want to say, oh no, it could be with coworkers and stuff. I agree with that. I'm not discounting that, but it stems from you having younger children.
Younger children, yeah. So, young children, if you are listening, thank you for your attempt and thank you for your go-getter attitude. But just ask. And I'll tell you, as a dad, when I'm asked, how do I do this or how do I do that, and it's not something I've told you multiple times, like, oh, you're genuinely wanting to try this new thing. You want to try and do the dishes. You want to try and, I don't know, vacuum or something like that. I know I'm using chores a lot, and again, stemming from younger kids. But this whole idea does like go into my professional life as well too, and it's one of those things because I guess in a way I'm somewhat of a control freak, and I like knowing that when I expect something, it's either going to be done by the other person and I'm just going to have to pick up the pieces, or it's going to be done wrong and I'm just going to have to redo the whole thing.
Fair enough. Madster's
actually kind of throws you under the bus. Fire hates when you change plans on him, like cannot handle it, but he reserves the right to change plans whenever he sees fit or thinks a reason is good enough. Madison, I concur 1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%. That sometimes the logic connections that you make, all it be very logical, are like, okay, that's still a stretch, and it's just no. That's not what we were, not the plan. And just 24 hours ago, you were upset when we changed the plan because it wasn't logical enough for you. but now we're the bad guy. Okay. Do you want to defend yourself on this?
I don't
love
even know
being
what to say
live.
to this. Like, no, we're moving on. I'm not even gonna
He's
try
not
it
even
to like.
defending himself.
Well, no, because it's like
Senator, can you
the crazy
explain?
thing. It's like your crazy thing. Like the more you say that you're not crazy, the more crazy you sound. Like I'm not gonna entertain this.
Now, what? Okay, so what I will say is, when you have made those last minute changes, it was what I think it is that there's a lack of communication sometimes, because when you've made last minute changes or you haven't done something. For example, there was a time when I asked you to post a video for this podcast, and you hadn't done that day. And I actually told you, I need you to post it by the end of today, and you still hadn't done it. I called you the next day, ready to rip you a new one. And you said two things. One, you had it in drafts, and you just didn't get a chance to post it. And by the time it was in drafts, it was already 7 o'clock at night. You didn't think that was a good time to post. The second thing was, my audience doesn't really relate to these kinds of videos or these pictures. So I can post it, but it's really not going to do much. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Yeah, you don't follow every willy-nilly person just for the follow and just to get your name out there. You follow friends, you follow family, and they follow you back. And while you are advocating our podcast, I would argue the ones that have seen it, I've seen it. And the ones that don't want to, probably don't want to. They don't have no interest. And every time that photo comes up with the title and stuff, they're like, okay, he has a new episode out. I don't care. But if it's a funny video, like the 5G video that we did, it's more likely that they would at least watch it and maybe give our podcast a shot. That lack of communication took so much weight off my chest when you explained it to me. So I think your not last minute decisions of changing your plans or whatever, but whatever decisions that you are making, you're kind of leaving the rest of us out of the conversation in your head. And then the decision comes out and it's like, how did you get there? And then when you explain how you got there, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, we should wait for so-and-so because they are getting off work in an hour, and we could wait an hour. It's not that big of a deal. And it would save them a trip and they could just ride with us. Yeah, that makes sense. But without all that explanation, it just sounds like it just sounds like you're changing plans just to change plans.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, thank you for trying to come to bat for me.
I just think you and I need to work on it as well too. Is just the ire of communication, just being able to. I don't know if it's a prideful thing for you. I know it's a prideful thing for me. I feel like there's a time for me where if I say something, it should just get done. It depends. Obviously, it doesn't work for everybody. But if I say something, it should just get done and just get it done. But then obviously, not everyone sees my point of view, and so I kind of need to explain the steps of how I got to that decision, and then we can discuss if those steps were valid or invalid, and then you give me your logical and adult reasoning as to why it's invalid, instead of what tends to happen is, are you serious? Really? We're not going to go? Come on, fire. Really? Why? Just really? Why? Fire. Which happens not a lot, but it happens.
It's an adventure.
What's your favorite let me speak to your manager moment that you've seen, or I guess maybe heard? I don't know. We're both in retail, so I would assume that we've heard multiple and seen multiple.
I still will always go back to the, like, you've ruined my child's Christmas. Like, that's always my favorite. I usually see it at least one time every year, and it's always my special moment to me of finding that one person that's, you've ruined my child's Christmas by not having this here. And I'm always the quickest to respond with, no, you did. And they're like, excuse you, where's your manager? And I'm like, I don't work here. I don't work here. You're just a rude person.
I
Go
love
away.
that deadpan stare that you have, and I can't even do it. Like if I were to try to recreate it, but that was perfect. I don't work here. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh man. Yeah, I remember you bringing that up about a year ago, especially around this time. I think one of the like specific instances that I loved was a lady took her kids to the restroom. This was in a big box retailer. We won't name the place, but we'll use a different name. We'll call it Blawmart. She took her kids to the restroom, and they had a cart, right? And from what I could remember, there was virtually nothing in the cart. All right, so nothing in the cart, looks kind of empty, maybe just one or two things. When she came out of the restroom, the cart was gone, and she did the whole look left, look right, and then she went up and down the aisle and with holding one kid and like walking alongside the other kid, and eventually it got to the point where she's like, "Are you effing serious?" I'm like, okay, well, that's great kind of conversation speak around your kids, and so everyone's looking at her and like, "Where is my effing cart?" It's like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. And then so one of the employees went up to her and said, how can we help? It's like, somebody took my cart. And nobody could figure out who took her cart. Obviously, someone took her cart. I don't know if it was like an employee that took it for a go back, or another customer was like, "Oh, look, a customer." Look, a cart. That's it's a cart. I need a cart. I'm going to take this cart. It has one thing in it. I'll just take it out and use this cart. So no one knows. It's still a mystery to this day. It's the mystery of the missing cart. But this lady was so set on this was the fault of the employees.
Oh my word! Yes.
She said, "You took my cart." Like, ma'am, we've been behind this desk helping other customers. Well, one of you took my cart. I want my cart back. And I guess the supervisor said, "You know what? I can just go and get you a cart." She's like, "No, I want my cart." And that's where it broke. That's where it broke for the employees.
Yes, this is amazing.
She said, "I want my cart with my stuff in it." And part of me, because I was there as a representative of our company. I don't work for Glawmart. But part of me was like, okay, you know what? I know how it is being frustrated with two kids. You're tired, you're hungry, whatever. I get that. So part of me wanted to say, okay, what did you have in the cart? I'll go get it. And then this other manager will get you a cart. We'll build you a new cart, essentially. Nope, not good enough. She wanted the exact same cart. She wanted the cart.
I love
it was
her.
the principle of the matter. Where's your manager? The principle of the matter. You treat your customers like this. I have two kids. I want to put them down. And this was in the span of like 10, 15 minutes. Guess what she could have done in less than 10 to 15 minutes?
She's my person. I love her. I love her already. She's the best.
It was like, it was one of those car wrecks that you just could not look away from. You just had to watch, and like I tried to give her a lifeline. I tried to give her an olive branch. I'm saying, like, I will get you the thing. What is the thing that you need? No, I want the thing that I got. And I was like, oh, right. Well, we're not getting anything today then.
Did you look at her just like, hey, I don't mean to use foul language, but could you quit your bitching?
I should have. No, seriously, I couldn't fathom, like I said, I understand how it can be with kids and you're tired. I get all that. But that does not excuse the level of like idiocy that she went to just to make a point. And what was the point? Like literally, what was the point? That nobody should be touching other people's carts? Sure. This was pre-COVID, so we weren't caring about germs so much. But it is Walmart.
Germs didn't exist pre-COVID.
No, germs didn't exist pre-COVID. But like, is that your point? Because that really isn't something to like die on your sword for. And the other thing that I think about is, what are you actually teaching your kids? Are you teaching your kids?
Oh, that's not on her mind. Are you kidding me? Like, don't even bring that up. Like, that's not on her mind. She doesn't care about that.
You're right. Yeah.
It's not her job to teach her kids. That's the school. Plain and simple. That's the school.
Well, these kids were little. I think at least one was too young to be schooled to be in school. But nevertheless,
Then it's the states.
all right. So what you're saying is that at least in regards to the upbringing of these kids, they're not her problem whatsoever in this moment.
They're just her problem if they misbehave in front of her.
Got it. All right. Well, lady, if you're listening, calm the fuck down.
This episode is powered by Pod Decks. Pod Decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Pod Decks. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddex.com and type in coupon code. What's the code?
Still recording.
Yes, that's the code. Check out poddex.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
All right, guys, this is the moment in the episode where we are going to pull one of the cards from our pod deck. This is the Would You Rather pod deck. Pod decks is a playing card collection in which you can start icebreakers and have interview questions that you may or may not have thought of asking the other person. This works not only for podcasts but also for like if you're a streamer or even, I don't know, your first date. Just pull some of these out quietly. Would you rather be see how that goes. So if you guys want your own very own pod decks, go to poddex.com and type in the promo code still recording. You'll get 10% off your first deck. There's even an app as well too if you want to go full digital. This might be very short-lived, but we'll ask it anyways. Would you rather have pizza rolls or pizza bagels?
Bagels.
Bagels?
Bagels. Honestly, what it comes down to is when I was a kid, I ate a bunch of pizza rolls and lost my lunch, and they kind of got ruined for me.
That's funny because I had a bunch of pizza bagels. I didn't lose my lunch, but I did get sick. So I'm going to go with rolls. It's funny that both you and I have the
same reasoning basically, right, for the opposite
just
item.
Opposite item, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather face a fork in the road or be forced to pick between three doors?
The road, because I can at least see what's ahead. The doors are doors. Unless they're glass doors. But I'm going to go with the one that I have the most knowledge for.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, that is a very logical and reasonable thought process. I will also go with fork in the road. And this is quite fun. Would you rather wear a onesie 24/7 for a year or a horse head costume for a month straight? Now, mind you, the onesie, they'd still be able to see your face. There might be like a hood with like bunny rabbit ears or something, but you'd still be able to breathe.
If I can custom tailor that onesie, I'd probably lean on the onesie. But if it's like, go to your local supermarket and buy just the cheapest onesie, then it's going to be the horse head.
Okay, so you are a man of immense and high-end cloth. essentially.
Well,
So you want
I don't want to. I don't want to feel
premium, you want the premium onesie from like I don't want to use their name, so we'll make it up. We'll call it Glinky.
Onesie R Us.
Yeah, Onesie R Us. That's exactly it. Or a nice Glinky, like a Glinky blanket.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm sure you know somebody in that company that maybe could make you a unicorn
onesie. I would never wear a
Glinky.
onesie like that. No, I don't want to feel like I'm in pajamas 24/7.
What's wrong with being in pajamas 24/7? What's your
Don't
problem?
like that feeling. I don't like that feeling.
Oh my god. Okay, we for those of you who haven't who don't know, Quinnton and I both have this issue about our comfort level in clothings. So we have a whole podcast where I yell at Quinnton. It's great. It's wonderful. Yeah.
You mean now? Right now?
Also
Robes
with the
coming
company
soon. Goodbye, money. You gotta.
with the company in question, apparently robes are coming, and Aurelia, if you're listening, robes are coming. Oh no, I already have a robe though.
They're usually women's, so there's that.
I look good in anything.
Fair enough. You know
All
what?
right.
You do you. I can't. You won't be the first person I've known that have been like a male and like been like, I don't care. This is comfortable. You would not be the first person, and I would not have any judgment for that fact.
Well, I mean, I'm not like Michael Scott that goes to the bargain bin and pulls out the first pantsuit and thinks it's a men's suit, but it's in fact a women's suit. That's not me. And then the last question we're gonna go ahead and end this on: would you rather eat peanut butter and jelly or grilled cheese sandwiches every day? And there's no like, you can't add anything.
Well, yeah, no. I'm thinking of a plain old grilled cheese or plain old PB&J.
Right.
That's hard. I'm leaning. That's actually the first one that's been like legitimately like you can't logic your way out of this. Because they're both like a sandwich. They both are about the same level of like heavy. And like, mind you, the cheese one's gonna be greasier.
Yep.
But like the PB&J is still like it's still there, you know? It's still not the lightest sandwich. I'd probably lean towards PB&J because of the grease factor on the grilled cheese that every day could get old, whereas PB&J, I feel like, I mean, kids do that. Like they have it like every single day. That's a thing. And so, yeah, I'd probably go PB&J just for the fact of like I could not get sick of it. And I've got like, well, obviously you have like different cheeses and stuff you could do with grilled cheese, but like I could do variations to it, like tiny little, you know, I could do crunchy or smooth.
No variations whatsoever. It is smooth and strawberry, and that is all. And it is just grilled American cheese, and that is all.
You want to hear the worst term to use for American cheese that I've heard in my life?
I'm a little frightened, but okay.
Lotion cheese.
What? Is that a thing?
It's
Tell me
somebody
that's
I know
not
calls
a
it that,
thing.
and it's no. It's just they call it that. They're like, you like lotion cheese, and I'm like, I don't like that. I hate that term.
Oh my god, that's like calling brie the moist cheese or something like that. Gross.
Yeah, it's
just gross.
No, bad Quinnton, no lotion cheese. Yes, it's called lotion cheese. Get over it.
It's
delicious on grilled cheese.
If I had to choose between the two, I think in my current health state, I would have to go with PB&J, because like I've had I feel like between those two, because I need to have less cholesterol, so that would really be my like deciding factor. Which of those two sandwiches has less cholesterol?
I think the PB&J would do you better, and you've got more options to like, you know, peanut butter light, that kind of thing.
Okay. If you're allowing me a concession to change it up and not have to go with the Jif or whatever, and I can go with Jif Light or Peter Pan. Remember Peter Pan? Is Peter Pan still a thing?
What are you talking about?
You don't remember Peter Pan and peanut butter?
Peter
Pan peanut butter. Am I making this up? Hey, chat.
I'm hoping you are.
Am I making this up? Hold on. Oh, no. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing. And it's still available. Yeah, they're still around. I am not insane. All right. Yep. Okay. So PB&J for me, and more than likely, what you said, PB&J for you too.
Yep.
If it's good enough for the kids, it's good enough for me. All right, guys. Thanks
also
a lot.
less work.
What?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I like how you're.
All right, that's it.
It's less work if I have to make it every day.
In the moment there's a very good lull, and I was like, all right, that we're gonna go ahead and end it. I'm realizing no more work. I'm like, oh god damn it.
No, I'm realizing. I'm sorry, but I'm realizing it's less work on the PBJ. Like you don't have to get like a pan out or anything and like sear bread. You can just like slap it together and be done. Imagine an uncooked grilled cheese. It's just a cheese sandwich.
Which is disgusting. Yeah, no, that is disgusting. Actually, this brings up another question that we can just like really quickly tie on. Crust or no crust?
I don't care.
Okay. All right. You're an adult. I appreciate that.
As long as it's not like a bread that's like the crust is like I take it and I can like snap it. I should not be able to snap it like a twig. You know, it's not that thick and or hard.
No, it wouldn't be like focaccia or no, it wouldn't be like that. It would be like regular sandwich bread.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Or your wife could make you her own bread. I know she makes bread.
That's good bread.
Yeah.
And on that note,
we're gonna go ahead and end it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. If you'd like to follow the both of us, we're on Instagram under Still Recording Podcast. And for those who want to follow Quinnton digitally, where can they go do that?
On Instagram and Xbox at Firewall.
You guys can find me under those places under Lazy Tech Tony. Here on Twitch, I also have a Discord link in the description and down below. You can check that out where we have discussions about the things that we talk about in the podcast, as well as all the other things that we have going out of the Lazy Studios Entertainment. But in the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves, especially in this time. But take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you guys later. Later.
Bye, guys.
Heart